Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Today's talk will be on art in mind. I myself, Ms. Shutarika Dutt, on behalf of Niepid Regional Center, Kolkata, take this privilege to welcome you all for the third day of the talk and online discourse on promoting healthy mind. Today we are presenting Art in Mind. The talk will be presented by Dr. Shantini Bhattacharya. Before that, just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any question while the session, while the presenter is presenting, please type them into the question or the chat box. We will take up the question, might be during the session or after the session. Don't forget to fill the feedback form. That will help us to fine tune the program further. So now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our officer in charge, Mr. T. Mukesh, to give us an overview on art in mind. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Sucharita. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, dear participants. Once again, on behalf of Niepid, it's my privilege to welcome you all for the third talk of this series, what we are having right from 5th October. Last 2 days, we had excellent thought exchange and interactive sessions on two topics. One focusing on the telemental health, and yesterday's talk was ecopsychology. So basically, focusing on how we can make use of Mother Earth and nature so that we can find solutions for our own problems, our own mental health related issues, and at the same time support our clients. So in the same breath, today we're going to have a talk on art in mind by one of the experienced resource person, Dr. Saintini. So it's a privilege to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Shantini, who in a very short notice, she was kind enough to accept our invitation and part of our program. So thank you very much for that. And going into today's topic, art in mind, basically this is a talk which will be focusing on positive psychology. So this is recent an upcoming kind of a field of psychology, which is more of a scientific study, what makes life most worth living. In fact, like this gives us an approach to study human thoughts, feelings, and behavior with a focus on their strength rather than on their weaknesses. It helps us to build the good in life instead of repairing the bad thing. This particular branch of psychology focuses on the positive events and influences in life, which includes the positive experiences, positive states and traits, positive institutions. Peeping into the history, this particular discipline had come into existence since 2000. The concepts that form the basis of it, in fact, like has been presented in religion, subsequent disclosures for thousands of years. It has been influenced by the humanistic as well as the dynamic approach of the treatment. It grew into a very important field of study within psychology in the year 1998 when Martin Seligman chose this as a theme for his term as president of the American Psychological Association. So this, no doubt, this positive psychology is going to help ourselves in organizing our thoughts, orienting ourselves towards a positive way of living, and also will help us to radiate or use these thoughts for uh, remediating whatever the issues our clients are facing. So, without taking much of time, let us listen it from our experienced resource person. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a very enlightening and interactive kind of a talk, like past 2 days. So now I request Ms. Sucharita to give a brief introduction and walk us into the. Thank you. Over to you, Ms. Sucharita.
Thank you, sir. I take this privilege to welcome our speaker for today, Dr. Shantani Bhattacharya. I will give a brief, in a nutshell, I would be saying, though her bio sketch is so broad and she has worked so much in the field of positive psychology. But I have just chosen few of the work and I will highlight in her intro. So, Dr. Shantani, Dr. Shantani Bhattacharya, she is a faculty of Department of Psychology. She is also the HOD and coordinator of Department of Applied Psychology, Women's College, Calcutta. Dr. Shantani did her post-graduation from the University of Calcutta with specialization in clinical psychology and has obtained her PhD from the Department of Psychology, University of Calcutta. She had several publications in both national and international journals, worked on various studies related to female mental health, trafficked children, and de-addictions. Apart from this, she is the UGC's course coordinator for the course on psychological counseling, and her area of interest lies in positive psychology. So I take this pleasure to welcome Dr. Shantani on board for her session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sucharita. I welcome you all and good evening to all over here, the organizers and my students. And if there are any fellow speakers with me, it's a hearty welcome to all of you. And it's really a pleasure you all took so much of time to come here to attend the session. And I really thank the organizers for organizing such a beautiful line of webinars. I was following those from quite a few days, and it was really a very nice line of talk that was designed. So I won't be elongating much, and I'll start my presentation. I'll just add a few things that I'm presenting from my mobile, so that can be a big problem for some time, but I will try not to get into much problems or bigger problems. So if they're just, I'm really sorry for the inconveniences if something happens like that, but I'll try to manage. Okay, I'll be presenting. Is it visible?
Yes, slide is visible and you're audible too.
Okay, thank you so much. And as you already heard from the introduction, positive psychology, it's a part of psychology. And this is a very important part because psychology is not always about what is wrong in our behavior, what is wrong, but it is always about what is right and how it can be made right. How life can be better, that is also a part of our psychology. Now, as the topic says, art in mind. So let's see what actually art means to us. Whenever we hear the word art, what comes into our mind? The art is basically a creation. Whenever we think of an art, it's a creation. when something is created and art is formed. Think of any of the art forms that comes into your mind, like singing, painting, dancing, clay modeling, etc., etc. There are so many things. If we are doing, we are if you're doing something, making something from a scratch, that is also an art. So whenever we are making something, we are creating something new. It is called a art. Therefore, art is actually a form of a skill. Which skill? The skill to express self in different ways, that too in an indirect way. Now, why I am calling it indirect? Because this is actually a passive form of expression. Let's elaborate on this. Suppose I'll just have an example. Suppose I get hurt by one of my friends' comment. Now, what will be my direct reaction to this? Now, my direct reaction to this might be crying, or I might be hurting my friend in the same line that he or she did. That means if he hit me, I'll hit him back. If he screams at me, I'll yell at him back. So, this is what we call a direct expression of self. Because how I feel is evident in my overt reaction. And that too in accordance with the source stimulus. But when I'm saying the artistic expression is is indirect, it might be that I dance in agony to let go of the pain, or I may sing my pathos. I don't know how many of you know, if somebody over here is aware of Rabindra Sangit, then Rabindranath Tagore wrote a song, Jerate Mor Duar Guli. It was actually the night when his wife died. So art is a form of expression, but in an indirect way. That is, it becomes your indirect expression of thought. It is actually a reflection of the experiences, the actual experiences, the feelings, the sentiments in perceptible imaginary form. Okay, so we are presenting them in an imagination, in an imaginary way, but it is actually our own thoughts that is being expressed. Now, let's get back to that same example where we started. We started with that I get hurt by one of my friend's comments. Here, you see, whatever be my friend's, whatever be my reaction, a direct one or an indirect one, how I react depend on how I processed the information. If I get upset by his action, I cried. If I get angry, I hit him back. Likewise, my expression obviously changes or will change with the apperception of my stimulus. I said apperception. That is my unique perception of the stimulus. It's me. I am processing the stimulus. I am processing the situation. So, it's my apperception of the stimulus that will create my reaction. Therefore, how I react depends solely on my thoughts. That is how I felt. My reaction is then a product of my thought. Therefore, just see over here, your mind is actually the mastermind behind all your reactions. Therefore, your artistic expression, your animalistic expression, or whatever expressions you have are actually siblings, as it has the same mother, that is the mind, your mind, our mind. And as mind is the mother of all thoughts, we all are skillful enough, as we all create thoughts. There is nobody in the world who don't create thoughts. We all have thoughts. And for this only, I guess, Pablo Picasso rightly said, we all are artists. We all are born artists. Now, as our thoughts are the mother of all our actions, it actually designs our life. Now, in this slide is actually a flow chart. I just wanted to show how it comes. Well, when it was transferred, this PPT was transferred from my laptop. It's just changed the way the outlook of the PPT. I'm sorry for that, but it actually shows the outline. Now, what it's over here? See here, what we think predicts our personality and how. Now, let us understand this flow chart in detail. Now we'll come with the same example as I said. I get hurt by my friend. So whatever the hurt may be, this hurt may be verbal, this hurt may be physical. So I'm not going into the thing. Whatever hurt you get from your friend, in whatever way. Now I'll just focus on the thought that I'll develop from this hurt. So what are the thoughts that generally we create if I'm hurt? Number one, I'm unloved. That is, my friend doesn't love me, or I'm unloved. Number two is I am sabotaged or betrayed. My friend, as I'm saying, one of my friends, so friend is an important entity in my life, and he is hurting me, he or she is hurting me, then obviously I am sabotaged or betrayed. Next is I am unimportant. I'm not important, as much important to him or her as I feel I am. And next is I faced an injustice. Why injustice? How can I get hurt from a friend? I'm such a nice individual. So it is injustice to me. If somebody is hurting me, it is an injustice to me. Now see, in all these thoughts that we are creating by the heart, what is actually important in this? What is the sole subject matter of this thought? It's not the hurt. See, the hurt that we are talking about, in our thoughts, this hurt actually doesn't get any focus. It's my self-worth that is being attended by me. So my rage, my pain is not due to the hurt, but due to the self-worth issues. The primary thought over here is I. This I is supreme over here. Here, the hurt that I'm telling is the chief factor of my reaction, is taking a backseat in my thought. But what is taking the front seat is myself. That is my self-worth issue. That is my self-worth as I see in my eyes. So how can I get such an action? This I becomes important. This thought accordingly gets its vent in our words, in our actions. As people tend to have unique thought patterns, everybody has their own unique thought patterns. They have a tendency to evaluate the situations using the same thought process. And as a result, they tend to repeat the same type of actions in the similar thought-provoking situations. That means when similar type of situations or similar situations that provoke the similar types of thought that comes, we tend to repeat the same behavior patterns. The way we behave repeat our actions, similar type of actions to that stimulus. Now, in this way, see, our actions are becoming our habits. When we are repeating our actions, it is becoming our habits. And our habit makes our personality, as we know. So, whenever we create a thought, it generally predicts our whole life. Every thought we create becomes our reality. Every thought we create shapes our life. Thought is so important. Now, we will just see how we can improve the thoughts and show how our life can be redesigned. So how we can improve or reprogramming our thoughts. Now, I'll actually explain the things with the same example so that you can see how the thoughts and how the things can change. Now, what example we are doing? That is, I get hurt by my friend's comment. Now, over this, what better thoughts can we create? Because whatever we previously just discussed, whatever thoughts we create we are unloved, we are unimportant, we are betrayed. So, these are the general thoughts that come into our mind. But let's now see how we can change the thought or how we can reprogram our mind so we can have better thoughts. Now, number one, it can be the just see the when we are reprogramming our thoughts, we are actually shifting our focus. Now, how? See, my friend is troubled by his own thoughts. I'm thinking why he is behaving like this. If he screams at me or if he is hurting me in some way, then he generally doesn't do that. If he or she is doing that, then he might be in some pain. That means he is troubled by his own thoughts. Next, we can see it as friendly fights are fine. But we are friends. If we think we are friends, we are good friends, then as I feel he is important to me, I am also important to him or her. And in the same way, we share a special bond. And so fights are fine. Okay. We have that much of right with each other when we share that bond. So, yes, simple fights are good. Then we can think of it as it was not unintentional because my friend can't hurt me intentionally. So obviously it was unintentional. Next, it can be he must have some issues, some issues that I don't know. It might be there. Then he needs help. He needs help in what? If he is so much in problem, if something is bothering him or her, then it might be I can be of help, or it might be he needs some kind of help that he is not opening up. So there are there are things we have just summarized some. Can be plenty other thoughts in some other way. If we shift our focus to, then we can see that we can actually change the way how we feel. See, here by shifting my focus from myself, because previously my thought was focused on myself, me. Now I'm shifting my focus from myself towards the problem behavior. See, I'm not telling you to change the focus and I'm not giving it to another person. No, I'm changing my shift of focus. I'm shifting my focus to the problem behavior because my hurt or whatever I got is because of that behavior. That is important. So I'm shifting my thought towards the problem behavior and trying to figure out the exact cause so that the problem can be solved. So here my focus becomes to solve the problem so that I don't get hurt. So by shifting the focus point of our thought, our self
Ma'am,
is also protected.
Shantani ma'am,
Hmm.
you need to again represent your slide because someone else presented, so your presentation went off.
Oh,
Sorry
sorry.
for the interruption.
Okay. Was I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Just your slide was not visible.
Okay. Now, I don't know. I'll just check. Someone else is presenting. Okay. Wait. Okay. Now, is it visible?
Yes, now it is visible.
Now, which slide did I present to
That
you when it was
shift
visible? This
next,
one?
next, no, next.
This one?
Yes, mature. Yes.
Okay. So, shall I discuss it as I started? No.
So we were able to hear you. We were audible. Just the slide was not visible.
Okay. Okay. Now, I just forgot where I was. Well, I guess I was telling about the shift of focus to the problem behavior. So, what we were actually discussing my when I'm creating my thought, I'm changing my shift of focus from myself to the problem behavior that is the main cause of my pain or my hurt. Now, in doing so, when I'm shifting this focus, you can see here also my self is protected from any potential threat of self inflicted pain. But while I'm saying this self inflicted, because I told ki if it's like when self inflicted is you are creating the pain from the thought. If you're changing the thought, then that pain is no longer there. So it's self inflicted. So when I'm changing this focus, see, previously when I have this kind of thoughts, ki I'm unloved, this created the pain. And when I reacted out, or in any way I'm reacting or I'm doing something to minimize my pain, there I have the same aim of protecting myself from the pain that I might experience or I'm experiencing from the fact. So if I shift this focus also, see, I'm actually doing the same thing. I'm actually doing the same thing. I'm again protecting myself. But this shift of thought enhances your positive self regard and a better coping. Better coping is as we involve in mature coping, we shape a more improved life for ourselves. Because we are not, why I'm saying coping is improving our life, because now as we have a different kind of thought pattern, as I have a different type of coping with the problem situations, I'm doing it in a positive way. I am not tormented by my stressful thoughts. What is my stressful thoughts? Oh my God, my friend doesn't love me. Oh my God, I'm not that important. Oh my God, he betrayed me. So I am not tormented by my stressful thoughts. And it is not producing that agony or sleepless night. My stressful thought was actually producing that agony, that sleepless nights that I had spent. But if when I'm changing this shift, these things are gone. Previously, also, you wanted to protect your self integrity, but you could not protect the self from the pain. You wanted to protect your self integrity, right? He hit me. How can he hit me? He. Sorry? Hello?
Ma'am, you continue.
Okay. So, previously, also, I tried the same thing. But I actually could not successfully protect myself from the pain, because when I was actually reacting back, as I'm thinking of, okay, nobody can say such words to me, nobody can hit me. I can do it externally, but my thought, it already started giving the pain to me. It already started to give that pain to me. So, in that way, your self worth, your integrity that you wanted to protect was could not be totally protected by your behavior. But now you can protect your integrity, but without any feeling of pain. So now you have a relaxed life. You have a better life. Because if you have that sleepless nights, if you're having that agony, you're tormented by your thoughts, so that will create a problem for you only. But by this shifting, we can actually we can redesign our life in a peaceful manner. I won't be calling it better, best. You will decide what is best, what is better for your life. But by shifting this, we can obviously redesign, redecorate our life. Now we are coming to the positive thoughts. Now, as we have already learned how our actions, feelings, and all due to your own, all that you're experiencing are due to your own thoughts. Now, let's see how we can improve our thoughts. Now, here, as the bullet goes, see the points, and accordingly, I'll just say how it can be incorporated in your life. Firstly, the self love is most important. You should love yourself the most, and the primary focus of our life should be to keep ourselves happy. Now, self love, I'm not talking it in terms of narcissism. Okay. Self love is keeping doing things that makes you happy. If eating chocolate makes you happy, then eat it without being afraid of gaining weight. That is self love. When you want something and you think if you give it to yourself, that will make you happy, this is self love. And why this is important? Because happiness is contagious. If you are happy, you will provide the same vibes to the one who are near you. So, self love is very important. Love yourself first. If you are happy, that will be evident in your actions, and this action will flow into your social interactions, creating a positive field, a positive aura that will eventually boost your well being. Why our well being is getting better? Because when we see our life, when I see our life, life is not only about our studies, our degrees. No, we have our relations. When we think of our life, we think of the relations. Now, relations is not the family members. Relationships is also your colleagues, your subordinates, your superordinates, your friends, the maid who is working, a stranger, uh, a person who is traveling with you, Delhi, a daily passenger who is traveling with you in your buses. So every day our relations, these are also our life. And so when we are improving such kind of interactions, we are having happy social interactions. Now this happy social interactions, I said, is created by my self love only. I am being happy as I'm, just think about it, when the day when you go out, you are happy, your birthday or your certain day that you are happy, something good happened to you, and as you meet someone, we generally smile and always say nice things. Why? Because I'm happy in my mind. So I'm not getting any negative words, I'm not getting any bitter thoughts that will be expressed. I'm always, and as you say nice lines, as you smile, as you just say some sweet lines, a simple hi, that with the filled with warmth, that is contagious in your relationships. So the person in front of you, he or she gets a good vibe, and he also responds in the same way. So this actually creates a what is well-being? That is my life, how my life is. So everybody is nice with me. I have some nice experiences today. So obviously my that day is a good day. So that will be a that my well-being is getting better. So if I make this my habit of repeating the same actions of being happy and spreading this happiness with all the interactions with all the persons and all the relationships and whatever actions I take every day with the same love, with the same warmth, then I give a very positive aura. I create a positive aura, and I actually weave a field of happiness around me, and it obviously will increase your well-being. So for my own happiness, I shall be focusing on positive sides of any event, how bad it may be. Now, as I said, how bad it may be, I will be discussing some bad things, like you missed a train for the exam or an interview. So you're running late, you have an exam or you have an interview, and you missed the train. Why I gave example of a train? Because those who travel in train, they have a fixed time. So if you miss, you have to wait for some time. It can be hours or minutes, so that you get the next train. So this is bad, right? This is bad and really bad. But what is the better side? The better side is you did not harm yourself while hurrying or trying to board a running train. We should always remember the tagline, better late than being late. So here, if you hurry, you see, yes, I missed the train, but this is not the last exam of your life. This is not the last interview of your life. Then again, another thing, you might be late for the exam. That is, you can be 30 minutes late. You might be writing 5 marks less, 10 marks less, or it might be when you are entering the interview room, you are getting a rebuke from the authority कि you are late. But see, what if you hurt, your leg broke, or you had a massive accident, or something really, really bad? That didn't happen. You only missed a train. It's just a train. Train will come again. An interview call will come again. An examination will be there after 6 months. When it's a semester, you'll have a supplementary exam in every 6 months. Else, you'll again get a chance. If it's a competitive exam, next year it's another chance. So, obviously, here the better side is better. I'm running late, but that doesn't mean I'll harm myself, I'll hurt myself, so that I'll try a later time. Now, so we should actually have an optimistic view of the life, because life actually surprises us every moment with new challenges or gifts. Most of the time, our life actually surprises. What we say, human proposes, God disposes. So it is like, I think I'll be getting this. So I'm not getting what I thought of, but I got something bigger that I didn't think of it. So life is full of surprises, and we should believe in that surprises, and we should be always thankful for that. We have a life. See, in the time of Corona, so many people were actually complaining about this disease. Okay, we all were. We are homebound. But just think how we are actually thankful to so many people for providing us services. The hospitals are not shut. The grocery boys, the delivery partners, they're delivering you with medicines, the groceries, the whatnot. They're giving you everything at your doorstep. You have oxygen to breathe. That is not taxable. We drink water, that is not taxable. So there are many things to be thankful for. And if we have that positive outlook in our life, then we will always be feeling happy for doing these things. Then for the our whatever comes in our life, in whatever way, we should be hopeful for the good things, and we should always be thankful for the good things, and also thankful for not happening much more bad things to me. Then for our happiness, we should learn to forgive. Now, why I am telling forgive, many of the people can say it's not possible to forgive everyone, right? How can I forgive him? How can I forgive her? How can I forgive such actions? My God, how can he do these things to me? How can she scream at me? Blah, 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 blah. But just think why we need to forgive. Because if you hold back the grudges, if you hold back the grudge, that won't harm that person. You are sulking, right? Is it having any effect on the other person? No. You are sulking, you are grieving, you will have a headache, you will have acne, you will have stomach upset. All the problems associated with this sulking, your rage, you will be facing it. He'll be happy in his life, she will be happy in her life. So if you forgive, that will be for your good, not the other person. Forgive. So if you forgive, you will be free from the grudges. Now you can also fly. You can be happy. You can dance in love. Whatever you can do, you feel happy all the time. So for your good, just learn to let go, learn to forgive, learn to love. Love unconditionally. Don't question why it's happening to me. Now, by this reprogramming of our thoughts, this will provoke you to do some kind actions. Now, what kind actions? Like helping behaviors, helping others, or providing unconditional support to others. Like if you're happy, see, you're going out with this positive vibe, and you see a person is feeling it hard to board a train or feeling it hard to board a bus because it's a problem. He or she has got some problem in her knees or like that. So you just go and help him or her by holding the hands. He didn't ask for it, but you did it. It gives you a bliss. Yeah, I helped someone to do this thing. So as you start doing very simple things for others, very simple. You don't need to give so much charity. You don't have to spend so much money. No. Doing simple things, simple act of help. That can be altruistic. That might not be. It might be, okay, I'm giving you this. I'm helping my friend. Okay, he'll help me back. So when he or she will help me back, that is another issue. But for now, as I am helping, it is a feel good factor for me. So doing these simple things just improves your relationships. And as your relationship patterns is improved, your mental health also is improved. So this reprogramming your thoughts, in a way it comes in your mind, in a way it comes in your actions, in your relationship patterns, it actually creates a whole new life for you. So with this we are actually ending it. So what we have learned from this is your life is your creation. You are the author of your story. You choose the color for your life, your portrait. So choose wisely, choose nicely, choose lovingly. Choose whatever is best for you, whatever you think will create the best art form. That is your life. So just change your thinking, change your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a positive vibes that you provided through the session. So I would now request any participants who want to share their experience or want to ask any question to ma'am. The session is now open for question and answer. So you may ask ma'am directly or put your queries in the chat box. Ma'am will answer your query. Meanwhile, when the others are trying to put their question on in the chat box, there is a question from in-house that is positive thinking and positive psychology the same or different?
See, positive psychology is a branch of psychology. Okay. So positive psychology focuses on all the positive thoughts that we create. It's optimism, it's hope, it's well-being, spirituality. Everything comes under positive psychology. And whatever good we create, whatever positive we can create in our life, it comes in this branch of psychology. And positive thinking is that cognitive function that I'm talking about. When you are thinking about your thoughts, that thought pattern, I was talking about that positive. That is not positive psychology. Positive thinking is your cognitive functioning, your cognitive way of thinking.
So will it be like cognitive behavior therapy and positive psychology conceptually is overlapping?
See, cognitive behavior therapy is anything. If we call about it, what it is good if it is changing your thought pattern so that your actions are changed. So if you really want to change your actions, you always need a thrust from the inside. We all know it. See, I can tell you, behave nice, but you will behave you want it if you want. to behave. What is nice for me might not be nice for you. So, cognitive behavior therapy, when it is talking about, it is obviously dealing with problem behaviors. But whenever I'm talking about positive psychology, I'm not always talking about therapy. I just said that some simple things can also change because there is no start point. Whenever you start doing it, it becomes a habit for you. Like I'm thanking, like I said about that missing train. Obviously, it is not possible for the ones who have joined the seminars or who are going through this. It is not that the next day, tomorrow only, they'll have this positive set of things. No. So, if you reprogram your thoughts, your own behaviors can be in your control. For the cognitive behavior therapy, yes, you have a therapist who guides you how to change your thoughts to have better things. But if I'm saying this in relation to this, then you can change your thoughts in your own way. Why I'm telling this? Because if it's not a problematic one, see, I'm not ticking in the way if somebody has got a problem, if he's a client or attending sessions, then obviously he needs some help. That is why he's in the session. But for anyone in the life who have this kind of, we all have this kind of thought patterns. Obviously I too have. So if that is, I can understand or I can make out these are the, oh, why I thought so like this, why I'm so negative, I can change this. So this can actually also change my life. I don't need a therapy for that. But yes, if it's that the concept is there, so it is obviously like that, because if you, the thoughts will create your actions. So be it in the therapy or if you want to change your own thoughts, it will act in a same way.
Another question has come. Can you please give some input how to deal with loved one?
Sorry, how to deal with love?
How to deal with the loss of loved one? Can you
See,
please give some input how to deal with the loss of loved one?
okay. See, loss of loved one, when I say it, obviously the first reaction will be of grief. Grief is a longer process, it takes time. Now, number one, I know it's very tough. I can tell you theoretically what happens, but everybody takes their own time to come out of the grief. And if it's much more, and if it's like something very problematic, then obviously we sometimes need support to come out of these things. But if we just think intelligently, I know it's very hard, but can we think of something else, like why I lost my loved one? What happened to him or her? As if I think of someone who's suffering for a long time, if he's gone, he's relieved. Would it be happier for you to see the one suffer day by day, day or day, every day you seeing the person suffering with pain? No. If we can see the loss not as a loss, but yeah, it will create a vacuum in our life, obviously. And that vacuum, just think of it, that vacuum, you can't refill it, because every individual person holds a special place in our life, and that can't be replaced by someone else. If you lose your father, you have your mother, then nobody in this world can replace the place of your father, not even your mother. Same goes with your mother, same goes with your siblings, with your friends. So, if you think it can be replaced, no, it can't be. To come out of it, yes, we can do intelligent thinking. The positive ones, like, yeah, my loved one, I lost him or her, but it could have been worse if he suffered more. I know it's really very, it's like I'm tearing apart when I'm losing someone. But at the same time, it might be a possibility that life is giving me a way to prove myself, can I can deal with this too. I'm being strong. as I'm facing the storms, I'm being more strong in my life. So if I can't tell you the whole lot of scenarios, because when we deal with such things, we generally do it in a client specific way. Why? Because I told you every individual is unique. For every problem, there is a unique key. For all the problems that you have your own key that is unique to you, and nobody else's problem can be solved with that key. So you'll have to see what are the problems that you are actually facing with the loss. What are the major thinkings that you are getting with the loss? So that we can think of it in a better way, so that that problem can be solved. What is that loss I am with? Is that it's a monetary loss to me? Then I'll take the initiative to work. If it's a if it's like a support system from me, then it's giving me an opportunity to flourish, because I have to do it all alone. So in a way, I'll have to think what this loss actually means to me. And accordingly, we can say how it can be worked out in a better way.
A student of ours want to ask you a question. Reshmi, you may unmute.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, Shantani ma'am, and good afternoon, Sucharita ma'am, and good afternoon to all of my friends. ম্যাম আমি বাংলায় বলছি কারণ আমি ক্লিয়ারলি বলতে পারবো। ম্যাম আপনি প্রথমে বললেন যে জীবনের মানে ছোটখাটো নাম্বার আমাদের জন্য মূল্যবান নয় ম্যাম, কিন্তু কখনো তো আমরা সেই নাম্বারটা দিয়েই অন্যদের কাছে জাজড হই। অ্যাজ এ স্টুডেন্ট আজকে যদি আমি কিছু কম নাম্বার পাই আমার মাধ্যমিক পরীক্ষায়, উচ্চ মাধ্যমিক পরীক্ষায়, তখন তো বাবা মাই বলবে যে তোমার জন্য এতটা করলাম, তুমি এই মার্কসটা কেন আনলে না, বা আমার প্রতিবেশী, আমার বন্ধু, ম্যাম ওটা দিয়েই তো আমি জাজ হচ্ছি। তো তখন অ্যাজ এ স্টুডেন্ট আমি কিভাবে সেটাকে
কতদিন
ডিল করব?
জাজমেন্ট ইজ লাইক, যেটা তুমি বললে, মানে আমি ওর কোয়েশ্চেনটা কি, মানে আমি shall I answer in Bengali?
Both the language.
Okay, somebody said ki translate. Her question was ki many of the times the students get judged by their numbers only, as their parents or their neighbors always say ki I am spending so much on you, you are studying here and there, but still you are not getting that marks that we expected from you, so we are getting judged. That was her question, and how we can deal with it. আচ্ছা রেশমি, সবার আগে হচ্ছে এই যে তুমি কথাটা বললে জাজমেন্ট
Yes, ma'am.
নাও আই এম টকিং, when you are talking about your life, সিচুয়েশনস উইল কাম। আমি এটা বারবারই বলছি, এরকম নয় যে সিচুয়েশনস won't come. Yeah, situations will come
Yes,
in your
ma'am.
life, and you will feel you are being judged, but for how long? তুমি ক্লাস 6 এ হিস্ট্রিতে কত পেয়েছিলে? আমার মনে নেই আমি কত পেয়েছিলাম, হয়তো সুচরিতা ম্যামেরও মনে নেই। তো এগুলো লাইফের মোমেন্টারি ব্যাপার। These are moments of her life. When I'm practicing positive psychology, when I'm advising someone to practice positive psychology, I'm not saying you won't have hardships. Obviously, we'll have. But by being
Yes, ma'am.
positive in your life, you have that power to deal with it. Yes, obviously.
Yes, ma'am.
See, can you just think from your parents' viewpoint? My child is an extension of myself. I am giving the best that I can offer. And in return, I will expect she or he will give me this marks. As every parents want that. It is nothing wrong in it. But being a parent, obviously we forget the individual capacities. But you know you did the best.
Yes,
You are
ma'am.
confident in this. If
Yes, ma'am.
you are clear, when you stand in front of the mirror, when you ask yourself, you know, this much I can do,
Yes, ma'am.
I can confront.
Yes, ma'am.
ধরো আমি জাস্ট একটা এক্সাম্পল দিচ্ছি, সেই 3 ইডিয়টসেই বোধহয় বুমন ইরানির ছেলের মারা যাওয়াটাকে নিয়ে উই আর মেকিং অ্যান ইস্যু, বাট ওর ছেলেটা could have stand in front of the father and could say, I don't want to do engineering, I want to be an author, and this is my limit. This is my limit. So if you are clear with it, what you can do, as you're telling about the numbers, you
Yes,
won't
ma'am.
be dealing with the same numbers all your life. And after you're getting hired, doing a job, nobody will be asking you what you got in your grads. Nobody will bother about your master's degree.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point of time, when you are talking about life is much broader thing, much longer thing. So
Yes,
in
ma'am.
your life, at some time, after some time, it will be your actions that will be more important. It will be your the solving of your problems that will be more important. How you do the work, what is your expertise, that will be more important. So
Yes, ma'am.
just think of life like it won't give you setbacks. It will give you setbacks. But if you change your thinkings from this setback, if my mother says it, let them say. They are saying it because they expected something from you. Like you
Yes, ma'am.
expect your mom will give you a new cloth on this Durga Puja, and if she doesn't give you, you say, "Why didn't you give me? I expected this." So you are right from your point of view. As the same
Yes,
way, she
ma'am.
is also right from her point of view. Just try to shift your focus of how
Okay,
you
ma'am.
see the problem, and see this pain goes down.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Shantani, ma'am, and thank you, Suchorita, ma'am, and take care. Happy puja. Thank you.
Yeah, Reshmi, we have not concluded. Ma'am has lots and lots of questions to
Yes,
ask.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just saying. Okay,
Keep
ma'am.
it
Thank you.
as- Okay,
Yes,
another
ma'am.
question from that is a forgiving others' misdeed or betrayal is one of the toughest act a human can do. So, on that, could you shed some light?
Do you really think it's one of the toughest? Why?
It's a question
Now I'm asking
to
what
the participants.
whoever has asked, it's he or she has said it's one of the toughest. So why do
Toughest,
you
yes.
think it's the toughest? It's the most easiest. What do you need to forgive? Do you need a degree to forgive? You need a bank balance to forgive? What do you need to forgive? You just need your mind to let go of the pain. What misdeed? I've not taken. I Let's take the example of a heartbreak. Partners broke out. Obviously, in such things, generally, either of them will break it up. So the one who didn't want to broke up. So I can forgive if that's the pain. Why? Why you can't forgive? If it's like if you are not forgiving, and what will is give? That person will come back to you because you have not forgiven. No, that will not happen. So why is it that you seem to it as the toughest thing? Why Because you can't take it out from your mind. Everything is over here. Because if you remember his misdeeds, her misdeeds, that will be a replay in your mind. Remember flashbulb memory? Whenever we are going through that experience, it is giving us the same emotional pressure. So just let go. I'm not telling you don't think about it, because in doing so, in not thinking about it, you'll just think about it. No, don't do that. Don't try to do something forcefully. Give yourself some time, and don't try and don't narrate the thing to others. You know what happened? What that person did to me? My God. So whenever you repeat the thing, you are actually rehearsing the material. Don't rehearse it. So if you won't rehearse it, it won't go to your memory won't be enhanced. It won't go to the LTM. So just don't think about it. It's not forcibly, "Okay, I won't think about this. I won't think about this." No. Yes, things happen in our life. Things happen in our life. Accept that. Yes, I was betrayed. Accept that. Give yourself some time. You will come out of it. and a thing will go. So don't think forgiveness is the toughest thing, because you don't need to invest anything. It won't cost you anything. Just your mind. Just focus of your mind. Just be patient with yourself. Give yourself time. You will come out of it. Because I already said we all are very powerful. We all are artists. We'll create our life beautiful.
With this, there is another question. How could positive psychology help us to express on social skills?
Social skills.
Yes.
I'm not
Maybe
getting
the
the question.
interaction part, how to get along with people.
Oh, positive psychology and social skills. See,
Yes.
This is actually, you will see in your life too. I told you, whenever you have our actions are our expression of the thoughts. So if you are jittery, the day you are jittery, there is actually something in you that is bothering you. You are not telling it to anyone, and that is being reflected in your act. So if you are doing this and you're reacting, and when you're interacting with someone with the same jittery way, so that person is getting a negative vibe. My God, why she is doing like this? Oh, I won't be talking to her. So if like this, we just change it. If we are vocal, sorry, I might not be nice to you today. I'm having a problem. I'm having some personal problems. I might not be nice to you. Is it okay to you talk to you today, or I shall talk to you tomorrow? See, things are easy when you vent it out. But generally, we don't do it. Why? Because we think, my God, what will that person think of me? I'm having issues. Why? He or she never has issues in her life. Obviously, I have. So it's absolutely fine if I'm not okay for a day. And if I'm not okay, I won't be okay with you also. Because if I am not fine, I can't keep you fine. So that is why I told you, if you are practicing positive psychology, your social interactions will be happy. But you have to vent it out. You don't have to act it out. You are not acting to be happy. You are being happy in your life. That will give you a positive thing. Acting won't give you a positive aura. Okay. So I am just telling you, for the positive interactions that I am telling, it is not I am forcing the positive interactions. No. If you introspect the days you are happy, you are attending a cousin's marriage, you are happy, you are nicely doing it with all others. So that day, because you are happy. So you won't have to force the social interactions. If you feel it within, it will be expressed outward. Okay.
Oindrila Bonik, you have raised hand. Do you want to ask any question? Oindrila, okay. I think by mistake she might have raised the hand. No, ma'am. Okay. As Anuparna has given us, I think she has summarized today's sessions, been so attentive, that I would like to conclude this with her note that I think if all will follow this positive psychology, definitely peace will prevail everywhere. But unfortunately, lots of others need orientations and training throughout the life. Thanks, ma'am, today onwards with this session and eye-opening how to approach different situations and people we come across. So would you like to give a comment on that?
I'm really glad if I have really make any positive difference in your life, in your thought pattern. Thankfully, I'm really thankful to you, because being a practitioner of positive psychology, if I am just making any difference in anyone's life, that is something huge for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shayantani. It was really wonderful session with all the practical examples. As you can see by yourself, and you can feel also that people related so well. And that's why so much of questions and so much engrossed they were in listening to you with your practical orientations that we all have come across one or the other time, whether that's a heart breakup or a betrayal or being a social in the social feed. So thank you so much. It was really wonderful listening to you. We never thought that it's 1 hour has gone by. So it was really so nice of you to give us your time and spend a day with us on positive psychology. Hopefully, the concept that art in mind will help us to create that creation that you begin with. We will be able to create that creation in our mind to think in a positive way, and that wise will help others too to make a difference in their life. Thank you so much for being with us for this 1 hour and enlightening us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Participants, I'm sharing the feedback form. Please do fill the feedback form. Shantani ma'am, unmute yourself. Mute.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, you was unmuted.
Ma'am, may I please know where we can get the feedback form?
Kulpita, yes?
Ma'am, may I please know where we can get the feedback form? I could not
Feedback
find the
form
form.
is in the chat box, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
In
Actually,
the
I have
chat
not.
box, ma'am, I have shared again. Just check. You will find a message popping up.
Okay.
Again, tomorrow we will be meeting you all at 4 p.m. with the last session of this week. That is on the healthy mind platter. What are the mental nutritions that are required for promoting a healthy mind? We will listen to another speaker who is the HOD of Adams University, Dr. Shumona Dotto. She will brief us about the healthy mind platter. So don't miss the session tomorrow. We will again meet at 4 p.m. Thank you, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Yes, I can share the first day's feedback form.